Welcome back to Farming Simulator 17, and our field is growing quite nicely. We've got 281,000 in the bank, and I did have 400 and something, but I went and bought something new, well, some new things. One that solves all that round baling problem we had, get that out of the way, and number two, look at the size of this thing. Finally replaced that original blue tractor that we got given at the start of the game with the big brother to our existing. This is our existing ones. This is a Voltra. I think it's the T series, the next one up. Basically, huge by comparison. Longer, taller, wider, bigger tires, much more horsepower. So that will form a useful thing in our farm, because we're going to be probably getting on to other crops today. But before we get onto those other crops, I do need to talk about a couple of things. Let's start out with just that second phase of fertilization. So we had weeding last episode, I think. We can also do fertilizing. So if we have a look at the map, let's turn on grass and go across to fertilized. You'll see that mostly in the second state, we'll just set one of our tractors going with the fertilization, which is the getting everything up to the third stage. If you've got your options set to a single stage of fertilization, you don't ever need to have a fertilizer like this. A weeder will do the job just to get you to that first phase just fine. However, here this is not terribly hard to do, and we can just pop you around here somewhere. This is much wider than normal, so let's just get this out of the way. Number 12, I want you to fertilize and make sure I'm in the right mode, in field work mode. Start course at first waypoint, drive course, and wrong tool for this mode. It's a other mode, isn't it? Stop the driver, change to this one, fertilizer and seeding. Then you can drive the course. There you go. So this will just head off and start spraying behind it. In fact, no. What? Oh, unless it's got the... Unless the start of the course for this one is at the bottom of the field. Let's just quickly head down there. Yeah, I think I may have set it to the bottom of the field. Yeah, looks like it. So it's not a problem. Let's just set it up down here. And drive the course, please. You know what now? There it goes. So it's going to fertilize that entire field just fine. And what you can do with these, and we'll come to that in a second, is you can set up these courses to go from one field to the next. So we can set up a fertilizer route just by basically appending that route to this one, to that one, and just have bridging routes between them. And you could have one that just goes through all the fields end to end without stopping. Okay, now some other things I wanted to talk about. First of all, let's talk about getting rid of the round bale problem. So one of the things you can buy, if you have the DLC, and this is why it's optional, I guess, for you guys, is over here in baling technology. If we move all the way to the right-hand side here, you'll see not this one, but this one. Essentially a square baler, which would be fine, except that I didn't think that we could wrap the square bales, because we're going to be selling wrapped bales, remember, and they'll give us quite a bit of money. However, this will actually wrap square bales. So, although they're not part of the same baler, this one is a single baler that does both, but it makes round bales. These two will make wrapped square bales. And combined with not you, hang on. Yes, it is this one. Yeah, the Arcusin. This will then pick them up. So we have that already over here. In fact, let's take a tour in the new larger tractor. Let's get in and going. All right, so there is my new trailer for picking up bales. That works fine, with one exception. We'll come to the exception in a second. We've got the windrow on the right there. This is our new square baler. Big advantage is it doesn't need to stop. Bales will continually pop at the back of this thing and just drop onto the floor. You'll see there's already one in there, but it just comes down and just keeps dropping onto the floor. Really massive increase in speed from that just alone. So that's really good. Then, just a little bit later, we've got the baler wrapper, which is just around about here, this thing. Should have got in the tractor then, no need to do that. So yeah, this will wrap square bales. You can see sort of how it works in the middle. These two sort of rollers move apart, pick up the bale and start turning it over while the wrapper moves around. So that all works very well. So what did I say? What was the one exception? The one exception is trees and other debris. Let's just take a quick look at the farm that we get to start with. Because I'm moving up and down these fields, it'd be worse if I was moving across them, but if I'm moving up and down, there's a few trouble spots with all the original equipment that we get. I need to hand some of this other old equipment back in as well. I don't actually use it anymore. So this this outside structure has a problem when you have a tractor pulling that long bale trailer. It can carry like 16 bales instead of 8, so it constantly hits this post. That's slightly annoying. And then when it gets further across, it tries to turn around here, and it has problems turning around because of this tree. So yeah, we need some kind of solution to sort of get rid of obstacles. We can definitely do it with that lean-to. Well, lean-to. It's not a lean-to. That structure over there, the sort of wall-less roof shelter, whatever you want to call it. And that's easy enough by selling it. So that will just make it disappear. We could place another one nearby. But trees are a bit of a problem. You can't sell the trees just by clicking on them and sell. No, you've got to do something else entirely. So I bought this, or at least I may even be leasing. I think I'm leasing this. So this is in the forestry technology section, which is somewhere near the start, I think. Forestry? Maybe it's not. Where are you? Forestry equipment. There you go. So there's a few different things you can do in here. Some things that eliminate the tree stumps, some things that just carry logs and nothing else. I just chose to lease this. So 54 grand if we buy it. I'm not going to need it that much, so I'm just leasing it. It's not very expensive to do so. And you can buy other things like wood chippers and all kinds of stuff if you want them. However, we also need to buy a chainsaw. They're all £1,000, so just pick whichever one you like. And yeah, chainsaw. Chainsaw, as you might imagine, if we just go down here and then turn our chainsaw sideways, we can sort of select an area where we want to cut through the trunk. Let's say there, and left click. And that should fall over with a bit of maybe a helping push from the tractor. Object too heavy. Yes, we may have to make a push with the tractor. Regardless, that tree is pretty much disconnected now, as far as I see. Let's take a quick look. Let's just give it a push. Yep, there we go. We got a Christmas tree collection or something. However, we can't really deal with it as is. If we want to get rid of it, yes, we can get rid of the stump if we want to, but it's mainly for turning circles. So the stumps, when they're this low, may not actually cause a problem. However, we do actually need to get rid of the branches and then chop it up a little bit so that this carrier can actually pick it up. So if you just sort of move along here, just hold down the, well, not hold down, but just click the left mouse button and it sort of just gets rid of the branches. And if we saw them, or if we saw into them, that will also get rid of the branches. But I just want to get rid of as much of them as I can. And then we can saw this into length. So let's say the first one is here. We can again do the same thing and say, fine, I want to saw that length off. And there we go. So we've got one section that's, I don't know, about 8 feet long. And we can do the same thing up here. So let's get rid of the branches as much as possible. So they're just really hard to store in the back. And then I think we've mostly done. There we go. Get rid of you. And you. Okay, so we probably want to sort into another piece at least somewhere. Maybe there. This is something, unfortunately, I can't actually automate. I wish I could. It'd be wonderful, but I can't automate it. There we go. So, just to clean up your farm, you then have the ability to pick up the logs. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, because the log sort of... the log trailer takes a little bit of skill that I clearly don't have to actually do anything. If we just go into here, press E, I'm currently going to need to press Control Z to change the support. Press left click, and that'll fold down the two arms. That'll keep everything braced. Press Control Z again to switch back to the arm. And then when you hold down left mouse button or right mouse button or both, it have different modes. So we can pick things, we can move the arm across with mostly with just left click. And then we can use the right click mode to just tilt the arm down. And the left and right controls the head. So we can do this, go straight down. You'll see that it tips the entire vehicle backwards, so you do have to be quite careful while I'm doing this. And I'm going to need to lift that up a little bit. And I've still got some branches there, which isn't great, to be honest. Can I actually clean them up while... They must have been hidden in the ground. Can I? Yeah, I can. Good. Not always... I've got to be said, it's not always the easiest to clean these branches off. I don't notice if you can clean these branches without... well, reliably. That's the right word. I couldn't find a way to just clean them reliably. Sometimes they just clean up, sometimes not. Yep. So let's just put that in the back of the trailer and let's see how well that does anyway. So back in here we get, and let's just go up. Extend this across. And we want to move it around. Whoops, wrong way. Control the head so that the branch is pointing the way where we want. That should do, roughly. The camera's not the easiest one to control as well. There we go. And now, hopefully, we can drop this thing into the trailer. And of course, we can continue to do that for any of the other logs that we want to clean up on the farm. Use the both buttons. Let's undo this and try and pick this whole thing up. Okay, and then you can press L to fasten the tension belts, which will fasten the log to the trailer, like that. And then you can drive this and unload them at a nearby location. In this case, if we just go across to the map, it's over here at the sawmill. There's a little yellow and black sort of hazard line area over there. Just drop the logs in that area and it will sell it just fine. However, you know, I'm not going to show you all that process. We've got some of it sorted and I will need to clean that branch up before it starts taking out vehicles. Can I still get rid of you? No, you're still not going to let me get rid of you. Fine. Back to the tractor side of things. Where are we? So you've now fertilized the first field. We can stop you and just head over to the second field. And I'm going to cut forward until everything is then fertilized. And what I'm going to do then is a harvest with the new equipment, but I'm going to do a time lapse if I possibly can. So you can see it actually happening, automated, but you don't have to wait very long for it to do so. And then we'll then look at maybe buying another field or some kind of soybean farming, I think. Soybean seems an obvious target. We're going to need to buy a harvester back. Remember, we sold it at the very start of the game, but now we've got a decent revenue source from bales of grass. Well, might be nice to have a new harvest, so to speak. All right, 1 second. Let me just wait for this to fertilize. Okay, so it's the start of the harvest, and away we go with our automated paths, and we'll see just how well things go. Now, the mower's first at the gate, and we're going to go into a time lapse. Feel free to kick back and enjoy. There's the amount of money we start with. Let's see what we end with, and you'll see some of the other vehicles I've now automated, particularly the wagon that picks up all the bales, the baler, and the wrapper. Okay, and here you see Courseplay delivering the last of our loads. We should be back to normal speed now. You may have noticed during that sort of time lapse, if you did watch it, that there are still a few issues. Most of them are just trees. I got stuck on trees, and it seems you can't chainsaw trees when your tractor's stuck around them, or at least it doesn't seem to want to let me. So trees need to go, at least some of them. And one hill over near that first field, at the very, very start. This truck, because it's just so long and it thinks its turning circle is huge, there's just not enough room at that end of the field for this. And you may notice an issue here that's trying to push it into the barn. That's mainly because this course was recorded with the smaller truck that we had previously. So we're up to 488,000. So pretty much 200 plus thousand for one harvest of our starting fields. Pretty good, I think. Yeah. And everything's done. So we can use that to sort of judge what we can do, and we can make it a bit faster to get through. You may notice I had to wait for the first three sort of processes, so mowing, raking, and oops, let's just stop this because there we go. Mowing, raking, and baling, and then we had to bring out the tractors again for bale wrapping and you know, this wagon, the bale collecting wagon. So all this is pretty much the last bit of gear that we can use for grass really before we get into sort of tipper based grass collecting or forage harvesters and stuff like that. We'll not do that right away because we really want to have the next thing up be some kind of crop, I think, just so that we can get things a little bit of variety, let's say. Okay, so let's just drop that. I may have just rammed that into the back of the concrete. That's not a problem. On to the next thing. So here we are down here on field 24. Relatively close to the farm. We could also look at field 19, but I think that's the one that's sort of hilly. Yeah, slightly hilly. Whereas I think 24 is not terribly big, but it's only hilly in that one corner over there. Hopefully that's not going to affect things. Full of wheat at the moment, or at least can identify wheat. Me of the ability to identify plants where my only knowledge whatsoever is it flowering a flower or not? So yes, looks like wheat to me. And of course we can check that on the map. If we just disable wheat, you can see which ones are actually currently wheat and which ones are soybeans. So let's just take a quick look what soybeans look like, just to give me an idea. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just lots of sort of like pea-like pods. Fair enough, no problems, but still looks the same color as wheat. In any case, this field seems to be pretty good. $85,000, and we certainly have enough to afford it. So I think we should just buy the field. And like that, our farming empire expands. $85,000 down. Okay, that's a bit of a problem, however. You can see the ones that you own are lit in green. A bit of a problem, however, in that, well, one, this is full of wheat, and wheat's fine, but I think soybeans, if I remember rightly, they're sort of denser, so one tipper truck, you can fill a lot more in one tipper truck from soybeans in terms of the amount of revenue you'll get from them. So we're going to need a tipper, and we're going to need a harvester again. So we should have a look at the shop. And the harvesters, here they are. We could go for the one that we originally got, which is this axial flow, 145,000, but we've got 400,000, so we can afford something a little bit better. So this TC590 New Holland, quite like the yellow of the New Holland. It matches the field at the moment, but not for very long. It also tells us which headers this can actually attach to. So the New Holland 18 foot and the 980CF 6R. So we just need to have a look at the headers first. So New Holland, this one is the 18 foot. And we want to look for the soybean and also wheat. So they're both, this is sort of a threshing or thrashing, whichever word term that actually works with. I think that's the actual header we want, so that seems fine. This one is the other header, but this is more for sugar beets, I think. Maybe sunflowers, and is that barley? Huh. In any case, we definitely want this one, I think. So, well, they're not very expensive for us at the moment, so we can get both. But let's just actually get one of those. We're going to buy it. We're not going to actually bother leasing it. And we are then going to go back into the harvesters. Grab this one. This one is obviously quite cheap, but very small. This was our original one, which you've already seen. So why don't we get the next one there? And that should be compatible. Okay, and there's all of our money gone from that harvest. But one harvest to get an entirely new harvester, a header, and probably a tipper truck in here, actually. And let's see if we can get a some kind of tipper. And let's see what, where are they? Are they at the end? Telehandlers, no. No, we don't want manure spreaders. We don't need auger wagons. Where are the... Ah, there they are. Okay. So, I think, was this the one we started with? Yeah, I think it was. 8,000 litres. Fair enough. 8,500. 15,000. And only 19,000. And they pretty much... Well, this is sort of indicating that they fit together with another piece of equipment. I think those are the sort of foraging attachments that basically you can drive along with a mower, drag one of these behind you with a sort of scoop that throws stuff into it. But I don't think we actually need to worry about that just yet. Although it seems to suggest that that fits together with DB8, so maybe they just attach to each other? Question mark. Lots and lots more, including modded tippers, but let's go with something reasonable just to get started. And I think I'll get this one, hopefully. Is there any kind of, some kind of horsepower limit? Let's go for the farm tech, shall we? And wheel setup, so we can get wide tires if we need to. Yeah, just standard or wide. Let's just go for standard. Yeah, we'll purchase it. We won't worry about anything else. So now we should need to just send one of our vehicles to the store to go and pick up the new tipper truck. Easy enough. Make sure you're in transport mode. Go across to transferring farm to shop, go. And first waypoint, drive course. Yeah. Let's just set that to next closest waypoint. Drive course. Hopefully that should go now. Yeah, that looks fine. And let's head across to the store where our new harvester is available. Looks pretty good and also pretty huge. What's the inside look like? Pretty good. No good rear view mirror as you, well, rear view as you might imagine, but otherwise, yeah, sort of nice. And let's just get attached to the header. And I think we're going to want to make sure that that thing is raised. I don't think there's any way to raise it up any further. So, yeah, we're going to have to get this back to the farm. And, of course, well, hopefully this will go on the road. So let's actually just try and give it the same path that we used to send back stuff from the shop to the farm. And put it in transport mode. It is. And drive the course. This thing is huge. And, yeah, if you get stuck behind one of these on the road, you know about it. Any case, let's see how fast it'll go once it gets to the road. Hopefully it doesn't hurt anyone on the way through. There we go, back towards the farm. Now, I'm going to intercept it when it gets most of the way there because we're not going to need it all the way at the farm. Remember, we now have field 24. I don't have any routes for that, but because this is a harvester, at least to clear that field with, I'm not going to set up any courseplay control. All I need to do is just set up a regular helper, which should clear that field just fine. We have obviously a capacity down here, which should, because that's quite a small field, hopefully actually contain most of that. And then it'll just stop if it gets full, just like we did in that very first clearing of the field that we got with our original farm. And then we'll go and bring the tipper in to fill it up and just empty it into our silo for the moment. We don't have to worry about selling it. In fact, let's take a look at what the actual costs, well, what the prices are. So wheat is about 750 a litre, and soybean is 1400 a litre. So, you know, double for, or pretty much double for essentially the same volume. So again, one trailer full of soybean will be better, but we may be able to get stuff better, faster I should say, from wheat or something like that, but no need to worry about it. One thing we will need, however, pretty soon, once we've cleared this field, is we're going to need to plough as well. Nope, that's going to, yeah, because I didn't press activated there. We're going to need to plough as well, and given that we're going to need to, for soybean and other plants, permanently plough them every 3 harvests or so, we're going to need to, well, probably buy one. So I may wait till after the next grass harvest for that, but ideally we want a plough that is pretty big. The one we started with was actually quite a small plough, so let's just quickly go and see where this is. Sort of approaching the field. Let's get this going as well. So we're going to go farm, shop to farm. Next closest waypoint, drive. Okay, and we're coming in towards this, so I'm going to stop the driver now. I'm going to take over, and then we'll just head straight towards the field, where we can now hopefully set it going. And that again will just be with that regular worker, not with anything better than that. We don't need to set up GPS or anything. I'm just going to make sure I'm lined up with the edge of the field. There we go. And worker, take it away. Ah, no. That's the other type of worker. I want to turn off that other type of worker for the moment. And then we'll turn on the regular one. No. No, don't do this. Stop it. I want to dismiss the worker. Yeah, there we go. We should be fine once we actually manage to get this set up. Back it up. I don't want to use anything other than just regular vanilla for the moment, even though we can. There we go, that's regular vanilla. And then we can stop this nearby here. Now, next episode, we will be looking at, first of all, ploughing this field, but second of all, setting up both of these vehicles to work together so that when that one is full, it calls this one over and empties into it, where this one can then go and dump in our silos all the way over there. So that is going to be next episode. For this one, just the remaining bits, we're just going to clear this field, I think. So as you can see, there is straw basically dropping out of the back. We could reuse that if we wanted to. To do that, we would have to, in fact, we've got the equipment to do it. Once the field is clear, we go through with windrower. Then we go through with the baler, and the baler will then produce straw bales. And we could then take those and store them. Not sure if you can actually wrap them. Might be worth trying. I don't think you can. I think it's hay that you would wrap, but other than that, yeah, we could use that and basically get a bit more profit out of it. But you get the idea at the moment. You've seen me do this before, so I'm not going to leave the episode here ready for next episode, whereby we'll probably reseed this field, get it set up for the next set of crops, which is going to be soybean, and that's going to need a plough first, seeding, then obviously harvest. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this episode and the time-lapse in the middle of it. If you don't want to see time-lapses, do let me know in the comments below. I just did an experiment for this one, as someone said they wanted to see it. Once you've seen one harvest, you've probably seen them all, or at least for grass. So yeah, next episode we'll head into soybeans.